Good morning. It's Wednesday, 1st of September, the first day of a new month on the stock market. I'm Tom Elliott here to do the market report. Well, the ASX 200 index is up very strongly this morning. Now, it's something of a surprise because the Dow Jones was only up 4 or 5 points last night. Yesterday, of course, we saw a pretty decent fall on our market. The day before, a rise. So it's clear that volatility continues. And the volatility is being driven by all the contradictory economic messages which are appearing on people's screens. Now, in the US, there's all sorts of pretty average data about employment and house sales and so forth that suggests that the American economy is going to struggle to stay out of a double-dip recession. So that's a second recession, say in 2011, to go on top of the one they had in 2008, 2009. Having said that, the German economy is doing quite well. But more importantly for all of us, the Australian economy appears to be going gangbusters at the moment. The June quarter current account deficit figures came out yesterday. They showed a dramatic narrowing of our deficit. It's one of the lowest levels of all time. And this is because commodity exports, primarily mineral commodities, but also food and other agricultural commodities, all selling very, very well on world markets. So unsurprisingly today, both Rio and BHP are doing well. Fortescue is up as well. We've got plenty of takeover action happening at the moment. Now, last week, of course, Rio made a $43 billion bid for Potash Corp of Saskatchewan. No surprise there that BHP wants to get involved in the fertiliser market, which obviously is tied in with agricultural production. And yet we have Canadian companies wanting to buy into the Australian marketplace. Last year, a Canadian company called Viterra bought ABB Grain, and in the last week, Agrium has made a hostile bid for AWB, the former Australian wheat board, and of course local company GrainCorp was also in the bidding for the wheat board. So look out to see what happens there. Agrium has bid $1.50 a share. The stock is trading at $1.45, but it is not beyond the realms of possibility that another bidder will appear. Also in iron ore space, as I mentioned, it's a pretty hot sector given how well the Australian trade data is looking at the moment. Sphere Minerals, which actually has a big iron ore project in Mauritania in Africa, has been bid for by none other than Xstrata. It's a friendly bid, but it doesn't mean someone else might not decide to have a crack at it. So look out for that as well. The Australian dollar is actually quite strong. It's buying almost 90 US cents. It seems that the prospect of a hung parliament isn't worrying the foreign exchange markets at all. They are focused, as they should be, on the movement of Australia's commodity exports, which, as I said, are doing very, very strongly. So it seems that we could have to wait up until another week before we decide who is going to govern Australia. But the good news is that our stock market is doing well, driven primarily by a strong Australian economy. We've just got to hope that China keeps buying all the stuff that we produce.